Ladies, Leanne Trotsky here bringing you some Battlefield 3 content, and today, let's talk about the ethics of online gaming. It's very important stuff, and I feel like nobody's got ethics these days. Gameplay stuff before we start is very important. We're playing Operation Metro. Great stuff to talk about ethics, right? I switched teams in the very beginning, and some of you may think I'm crazy because I spawned on the Russian side and I switched over to the US side, and everybody thinks it's way harder to win on the US side. I'm of the different opinion. I understand if a team's really good and they can hold that Bravo 2 cap, it's hard to get up the escalators, hard to get through the stairs. I can understand even more so on a 32-man PC server or a 64-man PC server, it being even more ridiculous. However, we're playing console today, and I'm spawning on the US side, and we're going to win this game, even though we come back from a 3 cap. And, this team, the main reason I'm making this video is because this team all rage quits. All rage quits. It was so frustrating. This was a good game. This was a competitive game. I'm playing with nobody I know, which is kind of important. I'm playing completely with a bunch of randoms. I'm not communicating with anybody. I do have my mic in, but I don't believe anybody's communicating. So it's really kind of what you can do on the battlefield, not what your entire team can do, not you calling out everybody. And the other team is important to note. They, I believe, at the beginning had more players. They probably had a higher group of higher ranked players, and it definitely looked like they had people running similar clan tags that made me hypothesize that at least one squad was probably communicating together. With all those things in note, this team did not feel bad about 3-capping us. They pushed hard, and you see this guy, the first guy that kills me here, he's pushing for that Charlie flag. There's nothing being held back here. He is pushing for the Charlie flag. They're going to put us in a 3-cap and not feel bad about it and try and win this game off the bat. That's fine, you know what I mean? Like, it can get frustrating. It can kill lobbies when people push into 3-caps, you know what I mean? And because the other team gets frustrated, they're going to back out, blah, 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 blah. But, I can't say there's anything competitively wrong about pushing into a 3-cap. It shows that you're a better team, shows that you're more communicating, and you're doing better. There's nothing wrong with that. They beat us off the start. They got the Bravo flag, and they're pushing on Charlie. I don't have a problem with that. The problem that I have is that we are able to come out of this. That's cool. We're able to sneak out. We get Alpha, we get Charlie, and we end up pushing them back into the 3-cap. Right? Seems kind of reasonable enough because that's going to happen is, you push too hard, you don't control a flank, somebody flanks around, they get your home flag, and then my team gets my own home flag, and then we're going to push on Bravo, and you're going to have to choose a flag to go after and probably split up your team and not win gunfights and then end up losing all the flags. So that's what ends up happening. We end up 3-capping them back. The problem that I have with this team, and the reason this game bugged me so much, is they all backed out. They all quit. Because we got them in the 2-cap outside the doors and they couldn't get back. And, if you guys saw that last clip right there with the USAS, frag rounds one-shotted me from, don't even get me started with the USAS with frag rounds. It's not the USAS, don't get me wrong, it's the frag rounds. The frag rounds, there's no need for them in the game. It is what it is, but that's another note. We'll get to that in a second. You guys will notice this beginning part I kind of played through just to show you kind of how this game progressed, how they pushed for that 3-cap. I will speed up a lot of this game because this was a fairly long game. When you have competitive games, they seem to be a little bit longer. This one I believe was 18 to 20 minutes. 3-piece, and then I get put down and completely failed 3-piece because somebody just come and revives all the guys, and that lets them cap Charlie right there. So we're pushed back, and we got to spawn back at the spawn. I don't know how you guys feel about this. Do you rage quit a lot? I personally, like, my quit percentage right now is about 6%. And I don't think it's right for these people to just quit like that. I think it's lame. I think it doesn't show any class. And I think it's the same type of person that's going to pull out the USAS with frag rounds. And don't get me wrong, they did. There's quite a few of them in this game that did have the USAS with frag rounds. And I don't get it. And, I have people that I play with sometimes that get frustrated with this USAS with frag rounds things. And, I'm going to start saying USAS with frag rounds. It's the frag rounds. They get frustrated with these frag rounds because I've got a kill with a Dow 12 with frag rounds. It's just as annoying. And so they'll switch to the frag rounds. So they'll start doing something that is annoying. And, that's not the way that online gaming should be. It's not like, it's how games get ruined is when one bad thing gets, like, taken over and everybody wants to do it to, like, because they think it's overpowered and it makes their skill better, but it's really frowned upon. Like, I guess it's maybe some of the Call of Duty kids coming over not realizing that the USAS is completely frowned upon with Battlefield. Regardless of what's frowned upon and what's not liked, it shows something when you switch over to something that you don't like getting killed by, but you're still going to use it to kill somebody. And, online gaming, it's been around for a little while, 10, 15 years or so. PC internet has been taken off. This is the internet generation and all. But back in the day, like when you're sitting there, around, playing video games with some friends in the same room with the friends, like you can't do cheeseball tactics. Like, like you remember like playing like Mortal Kombat or something back in the day, and like your friend would like just pin you in the corner and keep doing the like Liu Kang fireball kicks and shit like that. Like if he did that to you, you're gonna punch him in the arm or something. You know what I mean? Or you're gonna like knock the controller out of his hands, and you'd be like, "Hey, knock it off. Let's fight fair. Like, don't be a little bitch about it." You know what I mean? But once people get online, they lose that personal interaction, and it's all about themselves. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. However, when that like mentality carries into the gameplay, and you start like ruining the game in a sense because you're abusing physics in the game and thoughts in the game that make it just ridiculous. When you have a full squad using squad frag rounds with suppression and extra, it's just absurd. And you know what I mean? It's one of those things that there's certain things in the game that they're in the game. I understand that, and that is the argument that a lot of people have. They're in the game, just use it, don't complain about it. There's a lot of things that are in this game that maybe shouldn't be at the same level that they are right now. Like, obviously I think the tactical light should be nerfed down. I don't understand how they're going to go about nerfing the infrared, but, leave these ridiculous frag rounds that look like LAV shells in. Regardless, I don't want to make this just a hating on frag rounds thing, because, it's not what it is. It's really, have some ethics when you play the game. Realize that the persons you're killing with that gun is still another person. Although we're playing online, that's still a person that you're gonna kill, and your name's gonna pop up, and it's gonna show what they killed you with, and whatnot. Have some skill. And this game is full. This game was still full here, and we're getting that 2-cap. We're still losing at this point. 2 caps in, and we hold them here. And I don't understand why these people have the audacity to go push us in a 3-cap, and then as soon as they get 3-capped, they just back out. And it's like, where's the competitive spirit? Where's the ethics of like taking a loss like a man? Come on. Yeah, I just don't get it. And maybe you can clue me in. Maybe you guys get frustrated and you see they start backing out. They start dropping like flies. I'm not gonna name names. You guys can go back and look at the little different slow mos I did at the scoreboard. It's just frustrating when people do that. And especially because the game only has on console 12 people. Like if this was a 64-man server and 32 people and 4 back out or 5 back out, it's not going to be the end of the world. But when 5 people back out of a 12-man server, a 12-man team, it makes it a 7-on-12 game, and the game starts filling back up, obviously. And we get some douchebags back in the game. I think this was the game with the guy that had the 21 service stars with the USAS, and about 20 of those are with frag rounds, and it's just like, really, bro? Do you have any like mentality? Like, are you a person, or do you just like to troll people? Like, I don't get it. It's not that the gun is that great. It's just stupid. It's just like stupid explosive shit that blows everything up, and I really don't like it. But I'm not about the one. I don't like using it either. I'm not gonna go use it. I could use it and just beast on kids. I don't find it fun though. It's not one of those things like one of the things like in Bad Company 2. You snipe, the sniping Bad Company 2, going back and playing it recently, it's a little overpowered. But it's one of those things that's still enjoyable. It's not, it takes skill to use. The USAS is like spray and shoot at any range, and it's going to blow up anywhere near the person and still cause damage or suppression, and you'll get points. But people still use it, and people still back out of games, and people will always do douchebaggery stuff. The idea is that, if one person stops doing it, and you're not the person that's gonna use the USAS because somebody else is using the USAS. If more people start getting that mentality, more people start realizing that you're playing against another person that could be sitting right next to you, that could punch you in the arm for being a douchebag. If people had that mentality, I think there'd be less frustration in games. I think there'd be less rage moments in games, and you'd get less people rage quitting. I understand these people are rage quitting on the other team because they're losing because they suck. It's their own fault that they're losing. It's not my fault at all. We didn't do anything offensive. There wasn't too many people using frag rounds. So let me know what you think on that. Is it okay to use frag rounds? Is it okay to rage quit? I say don't rage quit. Till next time, ladies. Keep it real. You know how we do.